The reduction of young women from pop stars to teen activists says a lot about our country's misinformation crisis. I'm Yoonj Kim, and this is MTV News Need to Know. What do Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Rihanna, and Greta Thunberg all have in common? They're all young women who urged people to take political action this week and were called liars as a result by various government leaders. Their stories show that prejudices go a long way in fanning conspiracy theories. On Monday night, in a vulnerable and very emotional Instagram Live, AOC talked about surviving the Capitol insurrection on January 6th. She mentioned her own trauma as a victim of sexual assault, which reactivated after the attack last month. Her goal was to remind people to hold accountable those responsible for the attack, which led to 6 deaths. Following the video, conspiracy theories about AOC went viral on social media, falsely claiming that she was not in the Capitol during the insurrection and that she was faking the trauma. Writer Jessica Valenti made the link between assault survivors and conspiracy victim bashing. For misogynists, it's not just about disbelieving women who come forward about sexual assault. It's about painting them as the real wrongdoers. In other words, the disbelievers are gaslighting the Congresswoman's experience to distract from the fact that lawmakers and law enforcers had a role in this violence. At the same time, on the other side of the world, Rihanna and Greta Thunberg were accused of conspiring against the Indian government after tweeting about the farmers' protest. As a reminder, one is a Barbadian singer and the other is a Swedish teenage climate activist, both of whom have no reason to want to overthrow the government. It was the human rights issue that caught their attention on Tuesday, when farmers in New Delhi protesting new laws were violently shut down by the government. Rihanna tweeted a link to this CNN article calling out government oppression, saying, "Why aren't we talking about this? #FarmersProtest." Top government officials in India were enraged by this tweet. Soon after, Thunberg was attacked for sharing a simple toolkit for Indian protesters, which had hashtags, government contacts, and calls to action. All normal toolkit items in a democratic society. But on Thursday, the Delhi police filed a case against her that includes charges of sedition and overseas conspiracy. But as this member of Indian parliament pointed out, government officials are raking up rage over these 2 women to shift the focus off of their own atrocities. The issue is not Rihanna or Greta Thunberg or any individual. The issue is the manner in which the government is countering the farmers' protests as though they were an invading army. Backlash against 3 politically outspoken young women actually follows a trend within the misinformation crisis. The hatred against AOC for speaking about what happened on the 6th, and the hatred against Greta Thunberg and Rihanna for supporting the farmers' protest in India have a similar flavor: dislike of women challenging the traditional power structures. In a piece for The Guardian, Lois Beckett wrote, based on the work of Dean Freelon, research has also shown that disinformation and conspiracy theories are often deeply intertwined with racial prejudice and hatred. The fact that AOC, Rihanna, and Thunberg face similar accusations while the powers that be who actually incited violence are not being held accountable shows how conspiracies are basically mass gaslighting. Misinformation targets victims to distort the truth. That's why when we say believe women, it's not just about sexual assault. It's about the power struggle that masks the reality that'll lead us to true accountability and shake up the status quo. I'm Yoonj Kim, and that's what you need to know.